Hey, Tony Winston here, Jazz Piano College. I'm listening to Yohan Kim. He's a fellow YouTuber and quite a young guy and plays really great on a song called I've Got Rhythm. And he does a lot of cool modern ideas. And I was thinking, man, the way I play, it's so much of that old school stuff. Let me listen to him and take some of his ideas. So I broke it down in a little chart here. What I did was I took each verse and divided it into 4 parts because the song is, in A, form, and just kind of wrote down what he did on each little section. And, it seems pretty planned out, but yet some of it is still improvised, I'm sure. So let's take a look at it together, shall we? So first thing he does is he plays a very old school thing, which is to play the melody 2 octaves apart. And he's got a nice rhythmic feel to it. Just some nice little kind of things. And this is why I don't like electric pianos. You hear that E flat come screaming out every time he plays it, and it's not his fault, it's the piano. And then he plays that chord, and he's going to use this voicing more than once in this song, but very simply, it's a the rootless voicing down here, and then we've got the flat 5 and the flat 9 right here. So, it's just like, how would you describe this? That's the chord. I think he does it an octave higher like that. The next section is just pretty much the same thing. He messes around with it, and sometimes he throws in a little bit of blues. He does this pretty often, which gives it, a very kind of authentic sound that, is easy to listen to. Throws in little stuff like that. Then when he gets to the bridge, let's skip ahead to that. So. Uses that same voicing, I'm pretty sure. It's like the root on top, and then go a tritone, and then move that one up. So you've got the flat 9 and the flat 5, and then you put like a rootless voicing of a G. Could be that, could be that. Yeah, it's the same chord. I'm not sure if he went like that or like that, but again, it really sounds like that kind of voicing. So that, that's a voicing I learned long ago, and it's a great one. Definitely got the flat 5 in there. Not quite sure the voicing, but it's a nice one. Now, in the first A section of improv, he really sticks to the basics. It's just going. I don't even think he throws any. Blues. You gotta use it. I mean, that's what keeps the listeners with you. Then when you do all this crazy stuff, you don't lose them. But we're jazz musicians. We don't care what the listeners think. Right there, he's trying to do a polyrhythm. It slips off the beat a little bit. It's slightly sloppy the way he feels it. Let's listen to it again. It's kind of like Blue Monk or Straight No Chaser, where you kind of shift the melody around a little bit. So he doesn't do too much radical here. It plays a lot of... Well, listen to it again. All right, now in the last A section, he does something really nice. He starts getting on this little theme. Just does a little bit like that. And, you know, sometimes I try to make myself feel better going, well, he does all that cool stuff, but he can't, like, do what I do, you know, this, you know, all that kind of enclosure stuff and, you know, melodic ideas and everything. But I've got 50 years more experience than he has. But to think that I can't learn from somebody like that, I mean, that would be a big mistake on my part, because I did learn some pretty cool things, and the cool stuff is coming right up. All right, now that was just a pretty straight chorus. Yeah, just plays it straight. And just puts a little blues in there. I don't think he really even goes through the, you know, bother to play all the changes there. I'm sure he could, but he just chose not to. But check out what he does on the second A section. Right, of course, it ends with the blues kind of going, you know. One of those kind of things. But first he comes in with... Now, where do those chords come from? He's got like G flat major, kind of a major seventh. Then an E major seventh. Then a D major seventh, a C major seventh. Now, it's just moving down in whole steps, and it is cycle of fifths, but he's leaving out like the 2 5s. He's just kind of playing it as one chords, but he'll use this same thing in a minute here and it'll be a little bit more clear. You know, he does some nice rhythmic things too. If you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, he hits that B flat on the 4th beat, 1 beat early, and that just gives it an extra little punch to it. And the blues, you know, keeps everything together. Without that, you know, the audience gets, well, we don't care about them. But, all right, let's see what he does on the bridge. All right, so he starts off with a pretty typical line in D. I'm not sure exactly what. It's kind of like the G harmonic minor scale, which is it's close to like the diminished scale, I think. And then he does some crazy line up here, you know, using like the whole tone scale, like that. And then does some upper structure triads. Is that it? Yeah. And I'm just doing F7 here, but you could do like the altered version like this. And even though I know upper structure triads and I use them, I don't think I know them on F as well as I do on like other keys, you know, like if I play a D altered, you know, I know right where to go, but an F altered, you know, and, you know, that's where, you know, somebody who practices rigorously and does things in every key and practices through the cycle and really learns all their changes, you know, has a little advantage over. And I'm just lazy, you know. I like to read, I like to watch TV, and, you know, get high, fuck around, you know. I'm a bad boy. Yeah. So he starts with something like that. And he puts one of those crazy chords in there, and then he does this thing. So it's a little bit of like counterpoint. I think he does this one first. And once again, it's not even so much the notes he plays, but the rhythm that he uses. So let's see if we can tune in on that a little bit. Yeah, he does throws in some blues to end it out. Starting the song over again, and he's going to do these 2 5s again, but now he's going to start on the G flat like we did before, but use like some nice 13th chords, and just go right around the cycle, okay? And if you think that practicing around the cycle doesn't make any sense or it's useless, check this out. Goes right into it. So now it sounds a little bit more, you know, like it makes sense. This comes right out of some either famous jazz solo or jazz song or something. And if anybody knows what it is, put it down in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. All right, so after he does that, he hits that same chord again. Yeah, and just kind of doing, you know, thirds and tenths or something like that. All right, now we get into the bridge again, and he just plays da 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 da. You know, that triplet kind of rhythm. It's not really a triplet. It's like 3/8 notes, but da but da but da but da ba, like that. And he's doing altered chords. All right, that's a D altered. Then it's like a G. I'm not going to call this altered. It's got a sharp 11 in it, but it's also got a 9 and a 13. And then he gets to the C, and this one's altered, you know, because, you know, look at all those black keys. Something like that, I think. And then he does some wild run on an F altered, like is like that. You know, maybe something like that. And once again, it's not even so much the notes he plays, but the rhythm. I'll try to play along with it. Then he finishes it off with something kind of outside. And what does that mean? It just means, he plays some notes that have nothing to do with the key of B flat. He just kind of goes out, and then he comes back in. And I wanted to figure out exactly what this was. So once again, he kind of starts on the B flat, and then he gets to that G flat, and he plays it like this. I believe the next chord is like a G major seventh. Then he does a stack of fourths, and then pops it off with like a 6/9 chord. The melody kind of follows it too. It's something like. I believe that's what it is. Did he work something like that out in advance? Is that something you can improvise, or do you have to figure it out ahead of time? Chick Corea, I think, improvises it. I think maybe Yohan Kim worked it out, but he's on his way. If he's not improvising it, he's on his way to improvising it, and that's the secret also. I have lots of secrets, but and a lot of them are never going to come out on YouTube. But one of the secrets of improv is to actually work it out, and then when you're actually improvising, that stuff will kind of come out. It won't come out exactly the way you practiced it, but sometimes it will, but it works into the overall context of an improvisation. And my teacher used to tell me to do this, is to write out a solo, and then he'd come along and take out notes and move it around a little bit and make it better. And so by actually working something out, you're composing, and improvising is just composing in real time. All right, let's see how he finishes this song. Now that's cool. He throws that chord in, and then instead of jumping right back into the melody, he waits and kind of, picks it up where he left off. And then what does he do? Something like dun, 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 dun. So you have to think of the melody in your head. Dun, 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 dun. Honest to God, I know there's some triplet polyrhythm hemiola bullshit going on in there. So what's he doing? He's going da 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 da, and he comes in a little ahead of the beat on that thing, and it's this. And then his left hand takes over like that. So. I'd like to see the math on that. I really would. Yeah, and he ends with this kind of a... All right, that's something I know. I don't use it very much because I find it annoying, but it's based on the diminished scale, but it's using like that sharp 9 chord formation. All right, and then take it down in minor thirds. If every one of these notes was in the diminished scale, which it is, then if you go down a minor third, every one of those will be in the diminished scale as well. That one and that one. So you just go like that. think he goes up to diminished chord or something. Something like that. So thanks everyone for watching the video, and thanks to Yohan Kim for his musicality and his hard work in putting together all these videos. And I wish him a lot of success in the future.